gentlemen, welcome to the Light at Night podcast. Well, it's actually a special edition of the Light at Night podcast. We don't have a name yet, so right now we're going to call it the Ed and Solomon Show.
Married with microphones.
There you go. Yes, that's a great.
Yes.
That's great. Anyway, my co-host Solomon has already chimed in here. So, Solomon, How are you doing this week?
I'm good. I'm eating some jelly beans right now. They're kind of old because they're from Easter, but
okay. You know what people really like to do? They like to listen to a podcast and hear people eating jelly beans.
They do.
Professional broadcaster Solomon Green.
It's the ASMR jelly beans and bag. My week's been all right. Nothing. Nothing spectacular. Just work, come home, sleep.
Yeah.
I am getting a front door, so that's a great expense. Let me tell you.
Oh yeah.
Because I have no skills whatsoever as a handyman, so I need someone to install the door for me, and that always runs into a lot of dough.
Yeah. It gets expensive.
Yeah, so I look forward to that. So anyway, enough of me complaining here. How's your how's your week been?
It is going good. Let's see. Nothing really exciting has happened. I don't know. I don't really have a whole lot of stories this week.
Did you say somebody was playing some homeless guy, or supposedly a homeless guy playing a violin?
Oh yeah, there was a homeless guy playing the violin outside of the dollar store the other day, and it was a little suspicious because a day before that, you had sent me something saying there was a guy on your side of town, which we live probably 45 minutes away from each other.
Oh, at least.
Yeah. So he gets around, and the description that you gave me is very similar to the gentleman that I saw. So it's interesting.
Well, I mean,
because I want. Go ahead.
I mean, because you think about it, they're spending probably 6-8 hours outside playing a violin. Which, hey, I mean, if you like the violin, hey, whatever. But you can just go get a job.
Well, what's funny is after we talked about that, something came up on my feed, and it was a violinist that. I guess he's a famous violinist, and he was playing in one of the New York subways.
Yeah. And
I think he was disguised as homeless, and I was like, ooh, maybe it's the same guy. And I was like, probably not. This guy did not look like he was famous. But, I always want to be cautious because there are real homeless people out there, and I've seen them, especially like outside of the dollar store. But I also am like a little skeptical sometimes because people are always trying to scam you, and
No, people don't.
No, people are very honest.
Yes.
No, absolutely not.
So we're gonna do some news stories, right?
Yep.
So you want to take care since you're the basketball guy. I was the one that sent you the article, but you want to talk about some basketball news?
Say his name. What's his name?
Hold on here.
You're always good at basketball names.
Ja Morant.
Ja Morant. Yes.
Yep.
So the story is that for the second time within the last, I'd say 6 months, I think, he has gotten in trouble for brandishing a weapon on Instagram Live, and he's probably going to get into a lot of trouble. And you had told me that you didn't really understand why he was going to get in trouble.
Yeah, because I was trying to research more about it. Does the NBA have a anti-gun policy? I mean, because I couldn't find anything. I've heard something, and it was not a credible website, so I couldn't really get a definite answer of what the NBA's policy is about guns.
Yeah, I don't know. I would venture to say that they have some type of social media policy. Like there's certain things that you can't do on social media, just like the NFL has. Well, and you see guys violating that all the time. But
Well, that's fine, but what I don't understand is, now I don't understand what he did the first time, what he got in trouble for. Because you
He
said he
did
got
the same thing. He was waving a gun around.
okay, but from what I understand, the first time he did it in a club, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay, well this time he
Yeah.
was on Instagram in his car, and him and his
Yeah.
buddy was jamming to whatever hip hop or whatever, and they
Yeah.
were. I mean, he wasn't pointing at anybody. I mean, to my knowledge, he wasn't threatening to shoot anybody. I don't understand I don't know.
I think now if I were the commissioner of the NBA or I was one of the owners,
Yeah.
I would have a problem with it. And the reason why is because he is very popular with the kids. And as much as we'd like to say that, they're not supposed to be role models or whatever, there has to be you have to use a certain amount of discretion and just common sense. And to be waving a gun around and do it a second time, I mean, I think he got an 8-game suspension the first time.
I think so, yeah.
He did it again, and, he's probably going to miss, I would say, at least 30 games.
Now, is he in... More. Now, is his team in the playoffs? I mean...
They were. But
the NBA's playoffs last for, 9 months, so I don't know when... I don't know when their playoffs started. And when...
it goes into June. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
So his team was in there.
Their team was in there. They just didn't, ironically, I guess, didn't have enough shooters. Yeah, it's one of those little zingers. Yeah. You know how many people have used that joke? I just wanted to use it just a throwaway. But anyway,
I don't know.
Yeah, so he's probably going to get in trouble. But here's the thing, he's 23 years old, and I always say, when I was 23 years old, if I had $20 million, I would get a facelift on a dare. I would. I mean, I would do so many stupid things if I had $20 million.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't be alive. So, to come down on him real hard, I mean...
Is he good?
Yeah. He's good. Yeah, he's really good.
So here's what I would do. So is he like Tom Brady level? Is he like LeBron level?
No.
Okay.
Not yet. Not
Okay.
yet. No.
Okay.
But he's really good.
How about say if he was... So, okay, a younger guy. Patrick Mahomes, is he like Joe Burrow level?
No, not yet. Not yet.
Okay,
I would say maybe that second tier. Maybe Josh Allen.
Okay.
I don't think Josh Allen is as good as Joe Burrow and Patrick Mahomes.
Okay. I was going to say... I was going to say...
You know what?
What?
Lamar Jackson. He's like Lamar Jackson. Yeah.
Okay.
That's probably the equivalent of the NFL, NBA equivalent.
At least you didn't say Deshaun Watson. So. But
that's a whole nother podcast.
So I was going to say he should just double down on it and post another video of him holding guns, just shooting in his backyard.
Yeah, there you go. Just keep doing it. Keep doing it.
I don't know. I mean, if he wasn't threatening anybody, yeah, sure. I mean, we don't even know if the gun was loaded or not. So that's the other thing. I mean, yeah, it's a little reckless. I was going to bring my gun up here, and I was going to demonstrate, but I'm too lazy. I didn't bring it up.
Yeah. The Light at Night podcast gun series.
Well, no, I mean, what I'm saying is, I mean, who knows if the clip, if they had one in the chamber, if the clip was in there, I don't know. Yeah, I guess it's a little reckless waving a gun around, and I guess his little Instagram story. I guess.
Is. I mean, come on. Let's be honest. If you and I were we jumped in your vehicle and we're going up to McDonald's and I'm waving a gun around on Instagram Live. What do you think people would think? What is wrong with you, Ed?
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah.
Well, that's the other thing. Was he out in public? Was he in his driveway? Was he in his garage? I mean...
Well, that's true. Yeah, I think it all goes back to, one, the NBA is really... they have worked really hard to kind of change their image over the last 20 years.
Yeah.
So this doesn't help.
Sure.
And then also with the kids and everything. But I was thinking about when I was 16, there was a girl that worked at she worked at the McDonald's, and my friend and I used to drive down there. And one day she wasn't working, and so there was this other girl working, and I had a cap gun.
Yeah.
And she told me what the total was, because at that time, you'd pull up and you'd pay at the window or whatever, and they would tell you what the total was. And I said, "How about I take it for free?"
Yeah.
And I pointed the cap gun at this girl,
Well.
and I'm thinking, if I did that today,
Yeah. What year was this?
So much. Oh, this is probably 90, 93, 92, something like that.
The world has changed.
Yeah, it was bad.
I don't know. My whole thing is, I see I see your point, what you're saying. I get it. It's a little, it is reckless, be waving a gun around in circles. I don't know where he was. Yeah, if you're gonna drive through McDonald's waving a gun around, probably the best thing. I don't know. I'm just kind of about it.
I think if it were just his first offense, I think the 8 games was fine.
Well.
But at this point, it's kind of like, man, it hasn't even been a year, and I mean, I'm just probably the same gun. Like.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I hope he figures things out. He seems like an okay guy. Good player. It would be a shame if he starts making stupid decisions and then ends up out of the league, because it can happen.
No. What if
regardless of how powerful you are.
Now let's just take the gun away and say he had a samurai sword, flinging it around. I mean, is it just because it's a gun?
That is a great question. If it was a samurai sword, well, like, what if he accidentally swung it and chopped his friend's head off or something? Like, stuff like that.
Well, what if he had a Bowie knife and he's just throwing it up in the air in his car or what? I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, is it just because it's a gun? I think it's just because it's a gun.
I think so. I think so. And they're trying to set an example of, this can't happen. Because, I mean, like in the NFL, you had, I can't remember, Plaxico Burress, was it? He played for the Jets, and he shot himself because he had the gun in his pants, and he shot himself.
What was it, Plaxico? I want to say I want to 90% say that you are correct. I think that is correct.
I'm almost positive. Yeah. It wasn't Hines Ward. No, it was Plaxico Burress. Because I was thinking he was a former Steeler player.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, that explains a lot. So. so anyway.
I was trying to be honest. Yeah. So.
We have another story here. This one cracks me up. So you've had a past of partying a little bit. Now.
Oh yeah.
Now, have you ever been pulled over while partying with adult beverages?
No.
Okay.
No, I have not.
Okay. Now, this is to say, if you were, and you had your dog in your car with you, would you trade places with the dog when the cops pulled you over?
Oh, he would have probably already been driving.
Yeah,
I would have probably already had him driving.
So apparently, a Colorado man got in trouble because he was driving intoxicated with his dog, and when the cops pulled him over, I guess he's like, you know what, I'm just going to move my dog in my seat, and then he blamed the dog for driving recklessly.
How hammered do you have to be to think that this was going to work? I mean, wow. Now, you, from what I've gathered, have you ever even consumed alcohol?
Yeah, I've drank. I don't like it because I don't like to lose control of myself. But I mean, the only time if I do drink, and it has been a while. I did drink the Yingling beer, the lagers.
Yeah.
That's the only, and the only time I ever drink that is the holiday special with the raspberry cinnamon.
Oh,
It's
you
the
like
Christmas, the Christmassy
okay.
type
Yeah.
stuff. So yeah,
I
I mean,
like those.
not a big drinker, so yeah, I've never been wasted. I will just say that.
Yeah.
Well, no, people might get in trouble. So no, I've never been wasted. We'll just say that. So.
Okay. All right. Well, I have, and let me tell you,
Yeah.
I've never been so wasted that I would trade spots with my dog. I mean, this is, man. I mean,
that's great. That's great.
I'm just trying to imagine, like, what would go through your mind that you would think that this is a good idea to bring your dog here, buddy. Come over here. I need you to drive, and then blame it on the dog.
Yeah. My dog was driving recklessly. I can't help it. Yeah. Now, I didn't bring up the article, but you wanted to talk about the town hall meeting or something like that.
Oh, the town hall with Trump. I didn't really want to talk about the town hall, but let me tell you.
Yeah.
Wow. He just came out and just, like, hit this poor lady on the head with a hammer. I mean, it just... I don't think she's probably still a little disoriented from what happened. But I read today that she apparently is going to get a new show on CNN, which is funny because she's not very good at what she does. So...
Yeah.
I mean, you have to, if you're going to be, if she's going to have a show, she's going to have to let somebody answer a question. And that was one of the problems that she had.
Yeah. You can't, I mean,
kind of important.
Reporters anyway, Fox News, CNN, no matter what network you're on, they're biased. Back in the, I mean, I don't remember, I didn't say, I was little, so I didn't pay attention to news. Has there ever been a time when media has not been, has there ever been like a news anchor that's not been biased with their own political views? I mean,
they hit it pretty well back in the day when you had like Dan Rather and I can't think of the other guys, Tom Brokaw.
Yeah.
And there was another guy that was very popular, but they hit it really well. And they were very professional. Yeah. Now it's like, you see guys go on Sean Hannity, and he just talks over them. And to me is just, why even have people on? Sure. This is not a conversation. This isn't something that I can watch.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, so they're playing musical chairs over there at Fox News now. They're gonna try to move Hannity over and. They're going to move Gutfeld and they're going to do something with Laura Ingraham. I have no idea.
I thought I saw on Twitter. Matter. I thought I saw on Twitter that she got fired.
Oh, really? Well, maybe.
No, okay. Well.
She apparently brought in good ratings, which I don't understand. I can't watch her because if you ever watch her lips no longer move because she's had so many surgeries. I can't watch that.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah.
So
I can't watch Sean Hannity. Like you said, he invites he invites people on this show, and then he's just like rah, the entire time. Yeah. Won't let him talk. Like you said, well, why even have an interview? Let's just make the Sean Hannity hour, where he just blab about whatever.
I mean, he's got this thing about him that even when I agree with him, I'm like, you're just no, I don't like him. So
yeah.
But yeah, so, and then let's see. There was a couple other things. I heard that there was like an almost catastrophic accident with Meghan and Prince Harry. Yeah. So my only question was she driving? That was my only question. But.
And there we go. Since we don't have Candy on this week, we just
women drivers. I always do. I'm not sexist when it comes to everything else, but when it comes to certain things, I'm a little sexist when it comes to the driving thing. And it's only one thing. Yeah. When I go into a parking lot and I try to park and I see all of these cars, and they're all like diagonal, and everybody's over the white line. No one can seem to get in between those white lines, and it drives me crazy.
Sure.
And I always see the woman come out, and she's huffing and puffing, and she's complaining that like, yeah.
Sure.
So,
Yeah. To be fair, though, our wives are smarter than us. So I mean,
yes, but not better drivers. Better drivers. I will say that publicly. I am a better driver. My wife recently had an accident, and then she tried to tell my father-in-law that I've had more accidents, and then we started going through all the accidents, and guess who won? Yeah. So.
Oh, sure. Anything else you want to talk about? I mean, we can always rag on Trump and Biden if you want to.
Oh gosh. I mean, I don't even know. I don't even know where to go with that. Yeah, I think this road is almost at the end.
You talking about Trump? Okay, I'm gonna say you talking about the podcast. You're talking about Trump and Biden.
Probably both. Yeah. I think what it's going to end up being is what's the governor? Gavin Newsom. I think they're going to run Gavin Newsom. I think that's going to be because he's doing some kind of some kind of tour of America, talking about freedom. The governor of California is going to talk about freedom. I mean, the people are leaving there in droves, and he's going to talk about freedom. Okay, so I think it's going to be him and probably Mitch McConnell. Oh my gosh, that would be so great. Yeah, we should do a whole podcast on old Gavin Newsom because he's an interesting fellow.
Yeah, yeah. I was going to say something. I'll censor myself.
He's Patrick Bateman. He is the real life Patrick Bateman. I swear to you, he is. Now, I'm not saying that he's ever murdered anybody. I'm not accusing him of that. But by the look in his eyes, he could totally do it and not feel anything about it. That's just my prediction.
That was a little American Psycho for people out there that know what I was talking about there.
No, thank you for the sound. So on that note, it sounds like we're running out of things to talk about. So I'm gonna let you roll us out of this.
Yeah. So, yeah. If you like this, if you made it this far, congratulations. Like and subscribe.
You probably have a head injury.
So we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Well, thank you for listening to the Ja Morants podcast.